Hello, humans of the earth, and thank you for joining us on this wonderful day. My name is Heidi,
And my name is Dana.
and this is Fun Times with Dana and Heidi.
Today we will be discussing some of the latest positive news stories, but first we have our tweet of the week. Today's tweet of the week comes from @kidjsn, and it says, "I called the cops on my own party one time because I was ready to go to bed. And honestly, I don't know. This is a really interesting. This is a really interesting concept. What do you think, Heidi?"
I know, it's such a mood. I was scrolling through my Twitter feed and I saw this, and I was like, that's a mood. And honestly, I would do the same. So I was like, you know what? I screenshotted it and I sent it straight to Dana. And I was like, Dana, please, 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 it's too good not to be showcased. And you know what? It has as of yesterday, 519,000 likes. That's like half a million.
That's a lot of people. And you know what? I can also kind of relate too. I get tired very easily. I go to bed relatively early, like
You go
at relatively early, like
you go
at
to bed very early,
yeah,
very early.
like at it falls between somewhere between 9:30 and 10:30 is when I go to bed. So whenever, like for example, on New Year's Eve, when I was a little kid, and even now, I just tend to get very tired. And so I can relate to @kidjsn because like I'm assuming that this party went on into the night and it's tiring, it's tiring. My biological clock is not having a
Dana,
good time. Huh.
you're on a boomer sleeping schedule where they sleep.
No, I'm waking up kind of late right now. Today I woke up
That's
at
late for
10.
you.
10.
That is not late. That
10
is not
is
late.
late. 10 is late.
10 is not late.
I
To
refuse to
me, 10
believe
is
that I'm.
early.
Wait, what time do you wake up?
Depends what time I sleep, but like if I want to splurge and treat myself, I'll wake up at 11, sometimes 12.
One of my friends wakes up at like 2.
Okay, yeah, no, I've never passed the noon mark. I've always woken up beforehand. If I usually I'll wake up like I'm doing air quotes because Dana can't see me, but usually I'll wake up early around. I won't get out of bed till maybe 11, 12.
See, no, my biological clock is very specific. Like even like when we used to go to school on a regular basis, I would always wake up around the same time, 6:30, 6:31, 6:32. It would vary very little to the point where I didn't need an alarm to wake me up because I would just it would vary very little to the point where I didn't need an alarm to wake me up because I would just wake up naturally like that. So the
Can't
sleep
relate.
cycle was very consistent. But now with this Rona, I just tend to sleep for a lot longer. And so
Mm-hmm.
while I may be on a boomer schedule, it's still very late for me. Very late for me, you know?
I get it. I get it. But Dana, are you like a party person? Like, would you call the cops on your own party? Like,
I
do
wouldn't
you like
call
to
the
party?
cops. I wouldn't call the cops on my own party because if somebody found out, I don't know. I would get much
You
anxiety.
like to party? Like, if you were to go to a party, would you like going to parties?
I do like going to parties. I just don't like when people are annoying at parties because I think it's
Okay, same.
stupid.
Same. I agree with you. Like, my type of party is basically like a small group because I feel like if there's too many people, you can't really sit with all of them. So, yeah,
Yeah,
basically, small groups, fun times with
fun
Dana and
time.
Heidi.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. And we eat a lot. So, basically, yes. But yeah, because I was ready to go to bed. I called the
Okay.
cops on my own party one time because I was ready to go to bed.
Okay, so I'll pass the. I always say that I'm gonna pass the torch to you, but this isn't really like. What does that mean? That's the thing from the Olympics, right?
Yes, things for the
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so now Heidi's gonna take over with her fabulous news story.
Yeah, I'm gonna take over everything. I'm just kidding. No.
Yes.
Okay. Well, today's news article is about Rahan Staden, who took a job as a garbage collector to pay off his college tuition at the University of Maryland because American college tuition is expensive,
American
okay? Not
college
cheap.
tuition is way too expensive. I'm sorry. Have you I remember seeing a video of like people in Europe reacting to college tuition, and they were just so dumbfounded that literally the smallest thing cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I agree, and like in Europe, I heard that I think New Zealand, I think Germany, one sort of fancy European state. Is that what they're called? State?
I
Country.
think
There we go.
I don't know if
Country.
it's yeah, country.
Yeah, they have university there for free as long as you're a citizen. So America can't relate. And
Yeah.
since tuition was so expensive, the 24-year-old had to wake up very, very early in the morning. I wake up very, very early in the morning. I think maybe before the sun rises. He took a full shift of being a garbage collector, went around, did his job in the morning, and those garbage collectors come by very early. So he had to wake up very early, and he had to head straight to school. For 3 years, he had to go straight from his job straight to classes for college for three
Ouch.
whole years. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I cannot believe how you do that. I struggle to wake up in the morning, like barely in time to go to school, like let alone another job.
His sleep cycle is on another level. It's some next level
Mm-hmm.
stuff. He's risen to the next level.
And guess what? All
Hmm.
his hard work paid off because now he's headed to Harvard Law School.
Whoa, that's so cool. So he's gonna be a lawyer now. That's
I'm
cool.
pretty sure. And hard work pays off. Like those 3 years, they weren't for nothing.
Yeah.
And it can be hard to make ends meet at times, but if you continue to push through, the outcome is going to be much bigger than the obstacle, if that makes any sense to you whatsoever.
No, yeah, I get what you mean. Like he went through all the hard work and it finally paid off. So hooray for what's his name? Rehan?
Rahan, Rahan,
Rahan. Okay.
Rahan, Rahan,
Rahan. Okay, Rahan. I was like,
Rahan,
Rehan?
Rihan.
I'm
No, I think it's
literally
Rahan.
butchering everything. And speaking of butchering names, let's move on to our next new segment not written by me, but narrated by me. Hello, I am your audiobook narrator. And so this, okay, scratch that, edit this out. Okay. So in America, in America, it's pretty normal to see women's sports games to be as recognized as male sports games. And even though not as many people tend to watch them, like, for example, comparing the FIFA World Cup to the women listeners, they still hold them to the same level of like quality and acknowledgement because we do want to acknowledge both genders who are equally as talented in what they do in their sport. But for female cyclists, and I'm gonna butcher this so bad. Even though I'm taking French lessons on Babbel, I feel like I'm gonna butcher this, okay? But for female cyclists, the Tour de France has been open to only male competitors for 100 years. 100 years. And
Wow.
the female equivalent of the Tour de France, and it's called something similar, but I forgot what the name was. But the female equivalent is a lot less prestigious and it's much more modest. The female equivalent of the Tour de France, and it's called something similar, but I forgot what the name was. But the female equivalent is a lot less prestigious and it's much more modest. So I'm assuming like it's a lot less funded and people don't really care about it that much. However, this year, females can participate in a virtual version of the Tour de France. To COVID-19, all of the cyclists, all of them, are doing a virtual reality version of the Tour de France. So they're doing it virtually, like from their own homes. And I think that's really cool. So basically, what they did is that everyone, it's kind of like, you know how Peloton, you know, like the commercials for Peloton where someone's going like super ham on one of the base.
Oh, virtual reality
Yeah.
sports.
So
Try one of those.
yeah, they're riding their bike, but like it's an in-place bike, and then they have like a virtual reality sort of headset. I don't know if it's on a headset or if it's on a TV, but it's on one of those. And they have like each player has their own cycling throughout the course, and the course is all animated. And I was watching some of the videos of like the the bicycle course, and it looked really really cool because it's animated. You can have like some really cool scenery. So there was like a part where all of them were like underwater, and then there was like a big aquarium thing above them, and then like them were like underwater, and then there was like a big aquarium thing above them, and then like they were like these animated mountains, and then
Dana,
huh.
that reminds me of, did you ever play Mario Kart when you were younger?
See, this is such a tragedy. I didn't have like any sort of video game things when I was younger, but
Oh, you're missing out.
I know I'm missing out.
Mario Kart is exactly like Virtual Tour de France. It's
Yes.
very high tech. I'm not kidding you. Like the remote, you can buy an accessory that's shaped like a steering wheel, and you put your remote control in it,
Uh-huh.
and the screen is exactly, it's all animated, and it sounds exactly like the women cyclists of Tour de France.
Oh, that's cool. It's like Mario Kart, but like with legs, Like
Yeah, mm-hmm.
you're just having a good time. And so the Tour de France, the virtual Tour de France, I think it's still the same amount of time. I'm not completely sure because I'm not like a big cyclist. It's still the same amount of time. I'm not completely sure because I'm not like a big cyclist person. But it's 6 hour stages over the course of 3 weekends, which is a lot. And I honestly do not have the stamina to do that. But these people do, so that's great.
Six
And
hours.
6 hours is crazy. That's like practically the whole day. Well, not the entire day, but like that's like practically the whole day. Or not the entire day, but like it's a really, really long time. So there will be a full women's Tour de France in person by 2022. So you're going to have like the rubber on the road. They're actually going to be going through it. And next year, if Corona does continue, which I'm pretty sure it will too, what I
Well, in
just knocked on
America,
my desk.
probably. In
In
America,
America,
probably.
yeah. In France, not sure. But in America, probably. But I'm knocking on my desk right now to have this hopefully go away by December because this year has just been absolutely terrible. But next year, they plan to have the virtual competition effectively what the real race is like. So they're going to have it like, they're going to animate everything to be like the actual course. And I'm assuming maybe they'll add some effects so some parts will be harder and sometimes some parts will be easier. I don't know. But anyway, that's really good news, and I think that's really cute. And you should watch the videos if you can. Really cute, and you should watch the videos if you can. You can go on YouTube and you can look
I
up like
will.
a virtual Tour de France, and it'll give you like the highlights, and you can see all the avatars like bunched up together, and they're just writing and writing. And I don't know, I just really cute. I like seeing them, the little monitos. They're so cute.
Wait, is it all in real time? Like, are all the competitors at the same time?
Yeah, they're all cycling at the same time, and then I think they record it.
Oh, so it's like real, like they're actually racing against each other, just
Yeah,
not in
just
real
not in person.
reality?
Yeah, just not in reality, in virtual reality.
Wait, that's really cool. Imagine that.
Yeah, it's like live Mario Kart with legs.
Yeah, live Mario Kart with legs. Well, I guess you can go on to your science talk, Dana.
Yes. We shall transition into the science world. Let's open up our science minds. That didn't make any sense. I am so sorry. Okay, moving on. We have researchers from the United Kingdom and Switzerland who have developed a mathematical formula to stop robots from taking over the world, which I
What?
think is good. So it's called the unethical optimization principle, and it basically you train. Okay, so through artificial intelligence, you kind of give robots information. You kind of train them to think a certain way, so that when they're asked certain questions, they respond the way you have taught them to. But
Siri.
yeah, like Siri, or also like that robot. I did a project on this in like sixth grade. The robot, she's called Sophia, I think, and it's like the most realistic like human robot.
Oh, I know what you're
Yeah,
talking
yeah. And then
about.
she like her head moves and she has like the eyeballs and stuff. Kind of creepy, but also pretty cool. Hopefully she doesn't take over the world. I hope not. But anyway, so the unethical optimization principle is used for so when robots use artificial intelligence, they think of all the potential strategies that they have, but this principle it eliminates the ones that are unethical to stop just bad things from happening, since robots don't really have any moral values to them. They just kind of think in XYZ and not necessarily
Mm-hmm.
like, oh,
They're
will this affect a
programmed.
person? Yeah, will this affect a person in a negative way, in a way that could be perceived as bad? So this principle, this like it's kind of like a formula they use, and according to the article, it's supposed to be used for business purposes. Like for example, if you're if you're using AI for an insurance company, it could stop them from like overcharging too much, or maybe doing things that could hurt their company. But I
Mm-hmm.
think there's something deeper here. I think that they know. I think that they know what's going to happen, and they're going to be like, "Oh yeah, it's for business purposes," but really, they're preparing for the robot apocalypse. Have you seen the movie? What's it called? I Am Mother on Netflix.
I have not a Netflix account. SMH.
SMH. Well, okay, so basically the movie is about like this robot. There's this girl who grew up. I don't really remember where she is. I don't know if she's in. I don't remember if she's in space. And then she's raised by like this robot mother person, and she's just grown up with her whole life, and she's like, no, you can't go outside because outside is dangerous and whatever. But then this other person like from the outside world comes in, and she's like, no, it's fine, I don't know what she's no, it's fine, I don't know what she's talking about. And the robot like gets all evil, and she like, I don't know, she just completely like rages out, and she turns into an evil robot that's going to take over the world.
Oh,
So,
it's a horror movie. Dana,
yeah.
I just love your conspiracy theories related to robots. Dana, I just love your conspiracy theories related to robots.
Robots, there's a lot of untapped potential there. I think I'm looking as I stand here and like talk about this, it's kind of strange because on my desk I have like this it's kind of like a ceramic with like gold paint, and I got it from TJ Maxx, and it's kind of weird because as I'm talking the robot's just like, it's a fake robot, it's not real, it's just like a little mini statue kind of, and it's just staring at me, and I feel like it's judging me. Is going to come back and be like, this is what you did for my kind, and he's just going to eliminate me from the world. The unethical optimization principle will prevent that. Me and the robot will be best buddies. We're going to be super chill, and the mother
Best
from I Am
buddies.
Mother is going to be watching movies with her human daughter, and she's going to make them tamales.
Tamales, yes, we love tamales.
Yes. Can you
Tamales, yes, we love tamales.
Yes. Can you imagine how good, like, if you had like a robot mom? This is a really weird thing to talk about, right? But if you had a robot mother, can you imagine how good the food would be? Because everything would be so precisely measured
Yes,
and
Dana,
cooked.
have you seen like those
Oh, yeah. It's like in Japan, right? Or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Robots are real. They're already taking over the world in Japan, Dana. America's just behind on that as usual, but that's okay because people need jobs for themselves. But yeah, no. Definitely in Europe and Japan and Asia, there are these and it's right in front of your eyes and they mix it to you.
Oh, that's so cool. You know what I would want to see? I would want to see like a cook off between Gordon
The robots.
Ramsay and a robot chef. That would be really interesting to see. I want
Wow.
that to be a thing in this world. Or maybe like I want
Oh.
that to be a thing in this world. Or maybe like it can be like a cooking version with Gordon Ramsay. So it's like a Gordon Ramsay versus Robot Chef. And then it could be a different one with Martha Stewart, and that's a baking one. And it's Martha Stewart versus Robot Baker. That would make a show. A chef
They're gonna
versus like a robot would be so good. Somebody make this into a TV show now. I want
watch
this to
the chef
happen.
watch the chef get canceled because the robot's making them like with zero errors.
Honestly, I hope they don't get canceled. That would be really interesting to see, though. I want this to be a don't get canceled. That would be really interesting to see, though. I want this to be a thing now. Netflix, hit me up. I have a very good idea that could attract many, many viewers.
Dana's proposal.
My proposal, my business proposal. I'll go to your headquarters. I don't know where they are, but I'll go. Oh, I can't book a plane. But I'll go. Oh, I can't book a plane. I'll ride my bike. It'll be my own little Tour de France.
You will swim across the ocean.
Yes, I'll swim across the ocean.
Indeed, indeed. Well, moving on from robots taking over our world, we have Help I'm Bored by me.
Yay.
And this been pretty has been pretty consistent, stagnant, not really doing much. But I've been like just cleaning up the house and like organizing, cuz during the year like I just stuff things everywhere. Like I'll make a path like to the places I need to be in. So things are just everywhere. So I'm like furnishing up the home and all that stuff. And
Furnishing up the home. I love that. You sound like
yes,
Marie
yes,
Kondo.
yes.
It's so great.
Marie Kondo, an idol, a
An idol.
queen,
She's my
a
idol.
sensation. Yes, does it spark joy? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. Also, making this wonderful, wonderful watermelon sorbet. And it's the most easy, healthy ice cream you can ever eat.
So you make
Or
ice cream out of
raspa.
watermelon?
Yeah, well, it's more like a raspa, like a snow cone.
Yeah.
Because obviously water freezes turns into like ice. So what you do, it's very, very simple. What you do is you get a watermelon, and then if you're in Texas, HEB, they have a lot of watermelons right now. Go get your
Yes,
watermelons.
we got like a giant watermelon the other day, and it lasted like the entire week.
Yeah. I can't. So yeah. What you do, if you have any watermelon in your house,
Okay.
what you do is you want to freeze it, wait a few hours till it's fully like solid. Then you either go to your blender or food processor, whichever is more available to you. You put your frozen watermelon in there. Obviously diced, chopped up watermelon, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, you know how sorbets or sherbet, I don't know the difference
I think
between
it's
the two.
sorbet. I'm not
Okay.
entirely sure. I'm not Gordon Ramsay or a robot, but I think it's
Me
sorbet.
neither. I'm a novice at this. So yes, so your sorbet. You know how sorbets have like that kind of like sour, like lime lemon tinge to it?
Oh yeah.
Sorbet. You know how sorbets have like that kind of like sour, like lime lemon tinge to it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you want to put a few, I say like a spoonful or two of lime juice into your blender. And what you want to do is you want to blend it and chop it up. And it's going to come up with it's going to create like this texture.
Mm-hmm.
And whether you like it like that, that's cool. You can just eat it like that. Or if it's like, or if your watermelon's super frozen, it's going to turn into more of a solid type. So you can serve it as is. Or if you have a sweet tooth like me, you can drizzle honey over it and it's delicious.
Oh, that sounds good. Good.
And
See,
that's no added sugars. There's no added sugars. All fruit.
That sounds so good. I tried making a mangonada the other day, like a frozen one, but I ended up because I put in ice cubes, I put in mango, and I put in a little bit of sugar. I put in like a teaspoon or two. I was like, oh, okay, this looks good. And I was pouring it in like one of those like plastic cups, so I could stick the popsicle stick in, and then I could eat it later.
Oh,
But
that sounds good.
yeah, but then what I ended up doing is that I rarely use blenders. Like I don't really use them for anything. I'm not a smoothie person.
Appointment.
Yes, it's just really disappointing. I just don't use it very often. I just like eating just fruits by themselves. I don't know. I just don't really use them that often. So there's like the lid for the blender, right? And the liquid wasn't coming out even though the tip was like open. So I was trying to pour it, but nothing was coming out. So I just kept tilting it, and then the lid came off, and then everything spilled everywhere. And my dad got really mad at me, and it was just it was a mess. I had to clean everything with a paper towel, and then I only got like half of the original mixture inside of my cup. So I just put it in the freezer, and it was just there. The saddest mangonada to live ever.
Wait, so you forgot to take off the lid while pouring it?
Yes.
Oh
Well,
my
it's
gosh.
there was a part that had like a little hole in it. If you pour it, it would be open and then it would pour. So I tilted it and nothing came out. So then the lid fell off and everything went everywhere. And I only got half of what I was supposed to get. And it was just so sad.
That sounds horrible. I can picture you in your kitchen.
Supposed to get. And it was just so sad.
That sounds horrible. I can picture you in your kitchen and you're like, oh crap, like there's
Yes, it got
mangonada
everywhere. It
everywhere.
got all over the table. It got on the floor. It got on my
Ew.
shirt. It was so messy. And I felt so disappointed in my kitchen abilities. How could I make so many delicious recipe but not know how to pour liquid out of a blender?
Okay, but
It
was
was
the amount that you got out good though? It sounds delicious.
it was good, but I feel like if I had put more mango, traditionally you're supposed to use like more. And I also think that the ones I've had before, the ones that like my family makes, I think they have a lot more sugar, so that's why it probably didn't taste as flavorful. But it was still like for what it was, even after
Oh.
the whole mango disaster, it was still pretty good. It was still pretty good. Okay, it was decent. It was a decent mangonada. I was like, you know what? I have risen from this tragedy. I have become a better person. I have evolved from my mistakes, and I know how to pour things out of a blender now.
Is Dana, will you stick to eating raw fruits or will you try again?
I will stick to eating raw fruits. The blender is not my friend. I also hate the noises that blenders make. I always have to put it on low, and I don't care if I put it on low and I'm there for put it like on high. If I put a blender on high, it literally I cannot stand the sound. It makes like such a violent blender noise, and I don't like it. And sometimes when like my mom is making smoothies, she does the same thing, and I could just hear it all the way from my room, and it's so traumatizing, and I hate that sound. So I was with the blender on low if I don't have to hear those horrible sounds. I am not a blender person. Is a blender person a category of, is it a personality trait? I don't know, but it's not for me. Okay, it's just not for
Dana
me.
versus Blender. Dana
Dana
versus
versus
Blender.
Blender. That's
You
another
know?
show I'm pitching to Netflix.
Exactly.
Dana
Versus
versus
Blender.
Blender. That's
You
another
know?
show I'm pitching to Netflix.
Exactly. Dana never worked for Starbucks. That's all they have in Starbucks.
Oh,
Blenders. And they do
yeah.
it so fast also. They like pour everything like in one swift motion. And then you blink and it's like done. It's like wow.
Yeah, I think I would get
And it's like done. It's like wow.
Yeah, I think I would get fired from Starbucks. I'll just work I don't know, maybe at Target.
Dana,
Target's cool.
you're gonna get a line of Karens waiting for you in Starbucks
It's
because the
fine.
process will take forever because you're gonna be putting it on low.
I know, I Karen mob. It's going to be so terrifying. So therefore I will work in something that is not food related. I would never want to
Target.
have a job. Yeah, at Target. I would never want to have a job in something food related. Not because I feel like oh I'm too good for that or anything. No, it's because I'm going to mess up and I'm going to hurt myself, hurt someone else, or mess up really really badly to the point where I get fired. So I don't know how I feel about those types of jobs.
Dana.
For me, it's
What
gonna
a
be so
mood.
bad. It's gonna be so bad. Okay. And in terms of like okay. And in terms of like uh I don't even know what I was gonna say. Let's just move on. Let's just move on from this hot mess that is me.
Dana. Oh my gosh. I can picture you being like super like stressed
It
and
would
like
be a
working.
peak stress moment that does not handle food. Even if I'm like at a really boring like finance place, I would prefer that over, I don't know, burning myself with the grease from the Chick-fil-A fries or whatever. Whatever. I just don't trust myself enough to do that, okay? And even if it'll be very stressful, and therefore I do not prefer it.
Yes, Dana. Queen. Preach. It's nice knowing a lady who knows what she wants in life and what she does not want in
Yes,
life.
and this is something that I do not want.
Do not
Moving
want in
on.
life. Yes, so we have been talking yes, so we have been talking about journeys and how they're sometimes not like the best path, like best, how can I describe this? It won't be like a smooth sailing journey, but it's
Yes.
really good to trust the process because this is our motivational point, and it is a slow process, but quitting won't speed it up.
Yes, you need to have patience. I have learned
Mm-hmm.
my mistakes, whether they be food related or not. And you know what? There is a day where I will get better at this, but today is not the day, and I just need to have patience. And you know what? There is a day where I will get better at this, but today is not the day, and I just need to have patience and practice over time, and it's going to be good. So you shouldn't quit on things right away. So you need to
Dana,
have the
yes,
patience to
yes.
keep going.
And you know what? It's not where you start, it's where you end up. Fast food fiasco may have started off with some sort of food poisoning in the beginning. You can be the next Gordon Ramsay,
Yeah, I will
but
turn
you can't
into
quit.
Gordon Ramsay, and then I will go on the show that I created called Chef versus Robot,
Yes,
and
chef
I'll
versus robot.
become a billionaire. And I'll be like, I was a mere child who didn't know how to use a blender, and now I am a 5-star Michelin chef.
Yes, 5-star chef.
Indeed. So, thank you so much for listening to our groundbreaking commentary. I hope that it has changed your life and it's just changed your life. You're never going to be the same after listening to this. So, and I'm being sarcastic when I say that, but you know what? If it did, that's great because that's what we aim for. So, make sure to follow us on Instagram for updates. Heidi is the person that runs the fabulous Instagram page. It is very aesthetically pleasing, and I love to see it. And make sure to visit
You.
our website, which I run, to read more about today's news stories. You can check them out. After if you found a certain news story to be really interesting and you want to find out more about it, you can just go on our website, do a little click, and find the post related to that. And you can read more about it, and you're gonna have a great time. So
Yes, it's very user friendly, so go ahead and check that out.
yes, sir. Or yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dana.
Sorry. I have this meme. I have this meme stuck in my head where he's like, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." I'm a part of my brain. Please excuse me. So,
Okay, okay.
so make sure to visit our website. You can also contact us if you have any questions or comments or suggestions or angry tangents. And yeah, that is all for today. So thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye, guys. See you next.